to come here tonight. He is really booked. We had to book this months in advance. Mr. Matt Hargis from the University of Arkansas.
All right. Oh, you don't have to clap, I promise. Well, thank y'all for being here. Thank you for allowing me the opportunity to come speak. Thank you, Mr. Hubbard and Mr. Davis, for putting this on. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Matt Hargis. I do have 3 kiddos in this school district as well, and then for the last 18 years, I've been employed at the university in the Office of Admission. So I just kind of want to use really that role, that experience to talk a little bit about concurrent credit and what I think, some really good things that the school is going to be offering. So first and foremost, I really want to compliment the school for offering both, right? AP, hopefully you all came out to the AP night that was offered in the fall. I think they're actually getting ready to do another one. We've offered AP at Prairie Grove for a long time, and I think it's fantastic that now we're being able to offer concurrent credit as well. If I did my math right, which is a question mark, but and some of these overlap, but a student really has the opportunity to earn up to potentially 80 hours of some kind of college credit here at the high school, which is incredible. I think it's 14 AP classes and 12 concurrent credit classes. So a lot of opportunity. We look at them from a college standpoint as ones that they really work together. It's not necessarily an AP track or a concurrent track. I've got a 9th grader here, and we've already kind of been talking about what she's going to take this and what she's going to take maybe that. I look at it as a partnership. And not necessarily, I think that was one of the questions that came in, is how do I know which one to take? You really want to be talking to your counselors, talk to your teachers, and look at your research, make that decision, but they're both fantastic. So I just kind of want to focus a little bit on the concurrent side. One thing that I'll say is if you're looking at going to college, and I'm assuming that every student in here is, and every parent that in here has a student that's looking that direction, it's super important that you take advantage of these opportunities. For example, in the fall 22 class at the university, so the one that just graduated last May, started in August, I'm going to give you some numbers. So there were 3,313 individual students that received AP credit as part of our freshman class. There's over 34,000 hours worth of credit that they earned through an AP class. That same group of students, there were 3,447 students that earned some type of concurrent credit. Over 54,000 hours of college classes that a student earned before they ever set foot on a college campus. And so again, it just provides you with some opportunities that not everybody really can take advantage of. So again, kudos to the district. I want to talk a little bit about some of the benefits, and then maybe some of, I'll just call them concerns, things that you want to think about when trying to consider, concurrent credit. So first and foremost, you get a major start at a cheaper rate, right? For $125, you're going to be able to take a college class. That's going to give you 3 hours of college credit. And of course, that's offered through UFAS. If you went to UFAS, if you graduate from here and you decide to go to UA Fort Smith, you take that same 3-hour course, it's going to cost you almost $780. Okay? If you go to the University of Arkansas, $960. Even if you go to NWAC, you're looking at over $600 for a 3-hour course. And for getting it for $125, that is a heck of a deal, right? So you can be $500, $600, $700 out of pocket and have 15, 18 hours before your student ever graduates. So that's kind of always the first one, is the cost savings. Second, it's easily transferable. It's especially to Arkansas schools. If you're looking at staying in-state, and I certainly would encourage you to take advantage of the Arkansas Academic Challenge Scholarship and some of the other benefits that you have for staying in our great state to go to get your college education. You really aren't going to have any trouble transferring that credit somewhere else. As long as you make a C or above in that class, you should be able to earn that credit from UFAS and transfer it to any school that you want. UCA, ASU, University of Arkansas, UAM, you go down the list. So you really shouldn't have any problems there. I would encourage you to check that, especially you older students. If you know, I know we've got a few soon-to-be seniors in the room. If you know where you want to go, definitely go ahead and check that college and see what does and doesn't transfer from UFAS and on the list that Mr. Hubbard sends out. That way you can go ahead and know. I think it also builds confidence, and I think it also shows students that they can do it. They can compete in the college class, they can do the curriculum. It also usually provides a better classroom experience, similar to an AP class. in that you're in a class with similar students, right? Similar students that have the same goal as you do, as far as I'm planning on going to college, I'm planning on doing, being a successful adult, all those kinds of wonderful things. So I think the better classroom experience is a big key. That Head Start also gives you some options from graduating early to study abroad to double major, and maybe not costing you that much more money, right? Maybe you can double major and be still done in 4 years because you've earned 20 hours in high school through AP and concurrent credit. And it just allows you some more options down the road. Another thing is the high school weighted classes. So I know here at the high school level, Ms. Hunt just told me it's not going to be weighted on your transcript. But from a college standpoint, University of Arkansas, for example, we give extra weight for both AP and concurrent classes. So the fact that it's going to say concurrent credit, it'll say something indicating that it is a concurrent credit class on your high school transcript. We're going to take that and we're going to give you that extra weight, just like you would from an AP standpoint for admission, and most importantly for scholarships. And we know certainly scholarships are important. So what that means is if you make a B in a AP or concurrent class, from what we're considering, that's an A in a regular course, right? If you make an A, then you're getting a 5-point scale. So that's how you'll have students that'll graduate that'll have a 4.07, a 4.13. They'll have GPAs, and I'm sure there's some that are even higher than that here. But that's how you get a student that has above a 4-point, is because they're weighting some of that extra classes. Another thing is it can remove remediation. Now there's certainly some requirements that you have to have in order to take the course here, and Mr. Hubbard will tell you about that. I think they're probably going to be a little different for each course. But the state of Arkansas requires students to have a certain score on the ACT or SAT section of either math, English, or reading to either take a remedial course or not, right? So like intermediate algebra instead of college algebra. You might have the ability to remove that by taking the credit here. And they'll give you some more information about what it takes to get in these classes. But if you can go ahead and take, say, college algebra, then you don't, and your test score says that maybe you should have taken a remedial course, or at the university, for example, a college algebra course is either a 3, a 4, or a 5-hour course, depending on your ACT score. If you can take college algebra here and get 3 hours for it, you don't have to go back and take the extra lab or the extra 2-hour lab, right? So it potentially can save you some time, save you some money that way as well. So those are a few of the positives, the benefits, I think, in taking concurrent credit. Some of the considerations or things you want to at least think about is that it is a college class. Therefore, you have a college transcript and an official transcript, right? Can't tell you in 18 years how many people I've talked to that are coming back to school and they're like, do I have to turn in my transcript from 1982? I didn't do so hot. Unfortunately, the answer is yes, right? That is a part of their college record. So you want to make sure that your student is ready for that, right? The maturity level is there, that they understand the importance that it is officially a part of their academic record that's going to be a part of that record forever. When it comes time to go to grad school, med school, law school, or any of those kinds of things, that's still going to be a piece of it. You also, of course, have a transcript from UFAS that you're going to send to whatever college it is that you're attending. So you apply as a new freshman, high school transcript. Ms. Hunt will help you with that. You have a test score, etc. But you also are going to have a UFAS transcript that you'll then want to send to whatever school that is. Be sure to get that credit. While it does transfer to almost any school in the state, that's not always the case everywhere across the country. Some of you all might be thinking, I want to get as far away from Prairie Grove as I can, right? And I might go to a small public or small private liberal arts college in Georgia. Well, I don't know if that school is going to accept every single class that UFAS offers that we offer, right? So if you know those kinds of things, if you know you're looking out of state, you're looking small private, you definitely want to do some research and make sure that the classes we offer are going to transfer. Typically they will. They're mostly core classes, U.S. history, college algebra, Comp 1, etc. But again, you just something to think about. And then you also want to think about how it affects your plan, right? And what I mean by that is, if I'm an engineering student, I'm typically going to take Cal 1, or they want me to be Cal 1 ready as a freshman, because then I have to take Cal 2, Cal 3, and differential equations. It's very math intensive. If I take a concurrent class here and I make, say, an 81 or an 80, I'm an okay student, but I didn't maybe do as well as I could have or should have. Am I ready for Cal 2 just because I've earned that credit at that college that I'm going to? Maybe, maybe not. That's a question that you and your student would have to answer. But that is a situation where you may be encouraged by your academic advisor to take Cal 1 again. Now, in my opinion, $125 gets you that experience. It helps get you that preparation. It helps get you ready for that course, even if you have to take it again. But that's a scenario that where it may not, it may not benefit as much as you thought. The flip side of that, if I'm an English major and I've got to take one math class the entire life of my college career, and I can take that here at the high school with Mr. Hubbard's class, sign me up, right? Because maybe math's not my strong point, which is why I'm going into English to start with. So you just kind of think about the classes that you're taking now ultimately are going to play a role, and they're going to fit into a curriculum that you're going through as far as college goes. So I'll kind of close with this. I never want to say anything and not be sure to emphasize that colleges, when it comes to admission, in particular for scholarships, GPA is super important. And I would never recommend a student, and even my own 3 kids, they will not take a class that doesn't ultimately benefit their GPA, right? I'm not going to have them take a class where they're going to make a C and struggle when ultimately they can make an A in a regular course. And that's a decision that I, as a parent, am going to make, because I know that colleges are looking at GPA so much when it comes to test scores and GPA. Having said that, there's so many opportunities here that the Prairie Grove High School offers that you're doing yourself a disservice by not at least exploring them. And I think there's a major role for both AP and for concurrent classes for the right student in the right situation. And so again, kudos to the high school for doing it. I'm a big believer in concurrent credit. I love the fact that you get the credit simply by taking the course. AP, as you know, you of course have to pass a test at the end of the year. They're both phenomenal. They both have a place. I want to be sure to emphasize that as much as I can. We at the university love them both, but as a parent, I'm super excited that Prairie Grove is offering some concurrent classes. So I'll turn it back over to Dr. Hubbard.